told you to clean out the ears and make sure you got them good and clean with some witch hazel and Q-tips or cotton balls. And Heidi's ears have already been done, so we don't have to worry about that. So the next step, and she's being a little paranoid today, but the next step is to use the Torbot glue, and we just line it right up the inside of the ear. Both ears just on one side there. Then we're going to do the same thing with one side of the backer rods that we made earlier. And we're going to give this stuff just a minute or two to get tacky.
Steph has just about the opposite strategy off the tee. We saw him 3-wood earlier. We saw him driver earlier. He's going to wait it out and try to reach the stream. Pavelski is too. By the way, Pavelski last year on
In the meantime, I'm going to cut the tape we'll use to tape her ears.
before Mulder and Romo caught him, and then Romo ended up winning in a playoff. Speaking of Tony,
And the length of these depends on how much you need to go around the ear. I use one at the base and one at the top on each ear.
Larry Fitzgerald, seeing if you can fill the amps.
And the top one is much thinner.
In Scottsdale, the WMP Tilton plays up at the AT&T Double
She says, I'm not liking this today. I'm not liking this today, am I? No. Let's give those ears just a second to dry so it becomes a little tacky. Yes, okay. All right, remember I told you that one side went in the ear, so we're going to make sure that side goes in the ear. This is where your helper comes in, and Juanita's great at it. We're going to make sure it goes all the way in the bottom, glue side to glue side. We're going to lift that ear up real nice and tall, because we don't want any pockets. And we're going to take one of those straps, one of those strips, and very lightly wrap her ear, and then you squeeze it to tighten it, okay? We don't want to put it tight around the ear. We're going to squeeze it to tighten it. And then we're going to do the top one the same way. Just drape it around the ear, and then give it a little squeeze to tighten it. Now here's the tip of her ear. So we're going to cut this just a little bit longer than the tip of her ear. It's where my finger is. So we're going to go just a little bit above that. And she wasn't the model that I used for making these. I used another puppy earlier. So we're going in the ear, all the way to the bottom, straight up. And we're going to take one of those strips. And this is my less easy side for me. We're going to take one of those strips and kind of drape it around that ear. Just enough to hold. Oops, and I twisted it. There it goes. Just enough to hold that in there. And then we're going to squeeze it to tighten it. And we're going to do the same thing again on the top. Wrap it lightly. Sure don't want to cut off any circulation to that ear. And then we're going to squeeze it. Then we're going to come in just above the tip of her pretty little ear and take that off. I'm going to warn you, if you use black tape, you have to be careful to make sure you don't clip their ears when you're removing the tape. So keep that in mind, because you sure don't want to do that. Now we use a solid bridge. So we go back to the breaker rod. And we're going to hold those ears almost vertical, just a little bit off of vertical. And guesstimate what we need for a bridge. Yes, baby girl. Once again, this gets some duct tape on it.
Are we pulling her ears in a little bit more, like last time?
When you start with this, you want those ears to be at 10 and 2 so that she's got room to work them. But she's at the stage now where we're going almost straight up and down with her bridge. She's real close to being done. And we're gonna, that was a pretty. I'm just a little bit too long. She's got a pretty little head. Come here, sweetheart. You gonna scoot off the table, baby girl? That look about right, Mama? Okay. Now, what I do here is I cut a nice long strip of the tape. Usually 2 of them.
Sit right there, right here.
Once again, we're going to get her comfortable.
You understand?
And Mama's going to hold her head. And I'm going to place the bridge. Remember, I told you were going to need help. So we're going to pull that over. That's the first half. Then we're going to go around the second half, pulling that bridge tight to each ear. Okay? Then you squeeze the tape in the middle to wrap it around the bridge. You got it, Mom? You happy? See what we got here? Yay! Good girlie. Yes, that's a good girl. All right, baby, that's it.